tell them check out the blog, bro. YouTube channel called MKO. It's pugilism, boxing algorithm. M stand for Marvin and Kevin's initials KO. Yeah. What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel. We're talking all things boxing as per usual. Remember to like and remember to subscribe, of course, to the channel. And today, just going to speak to you a bit about Mr. Paulie Malignaggi, who was recently fired from Showtime. And the reason for his firing was that it actually stems to a video from Devin Haney, who's a lightweight WBC world champion. He came out one day, this is going back, I want to say a month or maybe more, month or two ago. And Haney was saying that, you know, listen, can't no white boy beat me, blah, blah, blah. He made that comment, and he, you know, he was quite strong on that point. You know, he was speaking in relation to when he was asked a question about Vasily Lomachenko and can he beat him, and he was like, nah, no white boy can beat me, sort of thing. So Paulie Malignaggi, when he heard about this comment, because it kind of made the rounds and a lot of people had a lot to say about Devin Haney's comments. And of course, Paulie Malignaggi is an outspoken guy. He's a guy that is a commentator. He's a big voice in the boxing world. So he was also asked about it, and his response was that I don't think Devin Haney's got the memo, but this era right now, this is not the era of the African American fighter. This is the era of the Eastern European fighter now. Now the Eastern Europeans are taking over boxing. It's not really the African Americans in charge no more that they were back in the sort of 80s and 90s. Now it's down to the Eastern Bloc and the Eastern Europeans. And basically, for those comments, Showtime asked him to apologize about this and to sort of take what he said back. I think Devin Haney did apologize about his comments, but Malignaggi said, look, there's no real need to apologize. He said, this is not, you know, something I'm going to apologize for. And since he refused to apologize for his comments, he's now been let go by Showtime. He's now fired. There's a lot of people talking about he may be able to get a job back at Sky Sports over here in England or other companies, and you know, I think that's a possibility. With respect to his comments, I definitely have to say I strongly disagree with them. I mean, he, in a sense, it is a good time for Eastern European boxing. I mean, there are some good guys from Russia. You've got Artur Beterbiev in the light heavyweight division. You've got Vasily Lomachenko from the Ukraine, you know, lightweight division champion. You've got Alexander Usyk, who dominated the cruiserweight division and is now a heavyweight. You've got Kuzmin, the heavyweight. You got the Eastern Europe do have some very good fighters and very good talents. You've got guys like Dmitry Bivol, another Russian in the light heavyweight division. And there are certain divisions where the Eastern Bloc has got good fighters, but at the same time, I would hardly say that they're dominating the entire sport, because you've got, for example, middleweight and super middleweight, where you've got the Americans, you've got the Charlo twins, you've got Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's got a light heavyweight title and super middle, and he's had the middleweight title. You've got guys like Callum Smith, super middleweight, Ring Magazine champion, he's from England. You know, you've got other guys, you've got African American guys, you go down to the lighter weights, you've got, you know, guys from Thailand. And it's very, nowadays, I'd say it's not really dominated by a particular demographic. I mean, apart from, I suppose, the heavyweight division, you could say, well, it's kind of dominated by the English in a sense, because you've got Anthony Joshua, who's unified champion, black guy from over here in England, Nigerian heritage. You've got Tyson Fury from Manchester over here in England, and between those two, they do hold all the belts, so the heavyweight division is kind of dominated by, I suppose, the Western European demographic. But yeah, I think his comments were definitely incorrect, because boxing's very diverse and you've got all different mixtures of people doing well. But I'd also say that I think his comments were not really, bad enough to be fired for. I think he's just sharing his opinion that he feels Eastern Europe is running things and dominating boxing. I think he's incorrect about that, but again, that's not really, in my view, that's not really a reason to get rid of someone or to fire someone. It's merely his opinion. His opinion's wrong in my view, but at the same time, it's not really something that you need to fire someone over. It's not. I understand that, nowadays if you say anything black this or black that or African American is not this or that, then it's a very sensitive time that we live in. But I think if you actually listen to his comment, he said, this is now the era of the Eastern European, they're dominating boxing. He wasn't actually being derogatory towards, let's say, African American fighters. He's simply saying that he feels that boxing itself is being dominated by the Eastern Bloc, the Eastern Europeans, which there's nothing wrong or racist, in what he said. It's just that he it's kind of a hot button issue, and it's one of those things where, obviously with him being white and it being a sensitive time between, I suppose, black and white people, and with certain violent things that have been going on, obviously, saying it in this climate at this time kind of makes it, in the eyes of some people, look worse than what it actually is. But I think you look at his comment in its context, it's just an opinion, and I think it's a wrong opinion, but it is just an opinion. We'll see what happens with Malignaggi. He may be able to get another job somewhere else. I'm sure, maybe Sky will have him. He's been there before as a pundit, so we shall see what happens going forward. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. Until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out till the next one.